If you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, Grainger knows you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Grainger offers diagnostic tools like calibration kits and multimeters to help you identify and fix the problem. With Grainger, you can be confident you have everything you need to keep your facility running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, this is Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 podcast, a show that forces a guest to come up with a movie-themed top 5 list topic, and then we reveal our picks on air. Top 5 heist films, top 5 tearjerkers, top 5 movie dogs. Every show you'll be asking yourself, what would be on my list? Guests include directors, screenwriters, actors, podcasters, musicians, authors, and even a professional wrestler. Subscribe to the Force 5 podcast, and you won't just be a listener, you'll be a list nerd. The Force 5 podcast, available wherever you're listening now.
And I'm Sean Liang.
And today we're going to be talking about yet another Werner Herzog film from 1977, a feature-length film, Stroszek, a ballad. But before we get to that film, Sean, how have you been? Watched anything interesting this week?
So I watched Scream from your suggestion, and I really...
Oh, the TV show. I was like, Sean,
yeah. No.
Sean, we've already seen the movie
many
before.
times, right? But I actually followed through and I finished the series, and I really liked it. I really, really liked it. I think the reason it's funny because afterwards I was like, the reasons I must have been like resistant towards it would be for like the same reasons that I would be if I were 25 in 1996 when the first, when Scream came out. It's kind of got that like millennial humor, but I get it. It's really good. I think it's pretty clever, and the kills were pretty awesome.
I liked it. I think that there is some. It definitely has some issues as a show. It definitely feels like an MTV show, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's not like a bad thing. Kind of in the grand scheme of things.
No, yeah, I think it's just very played towards like a teenage.
Yeah, it's made for teenagers, and not for people our age, really.
Right.
And again, that's fine. I mean, they know who they're playing to, but I think they have enough nods back to the original and kind of winky wink nod type shit.
Yeah, I was like,
and an interesting enough mythology to the show where it drew me in more than I was expecting it to.
Yeah. I think I was pleasantly surprised as like a hardcore, like diehard Scream fan. Like I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to. But mind you, again, that's not really that hard when I had my expectations set insanely low.
That's true. It was MTV, I have to say.
Yeah, and that's the real issue. Is it is MTV, and I don't normally watch shows on MTV because most MTV shows are garbage for the most part.
Exactly. I'm very interested to see what season 2 looks like. So,
well, and season 2 airs in a month, couple weeks.
Wow, is it really?
Relatively soon. Yes, I saw it. They had a trailer for it last week, so I probably won't watch it while it's on the air, but I'll watch it after the fact.
Yeah, like when it's
when it's on Netflix.
Exactly. That's what took me so long.
Let's see. What have I been watching? I haven't been really watching anything. Game of Thrones is still pretty big. Some big stuff happened yesterday on the show, and we're not in the business of spoiling Game of Thrones for people. Yeah. But this season has been quite good compared to last season. But I think, it's a show that I think is worth watching. But if you're not into it now, I don't think you should get into it. I think, like you said, you should wait until it's over.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So it's good. And I know a lot of people are really into it and love it. And, I I'm curious to see where the show goes, but that's really all I'm watching. I haven't really watched anything else. I rewatched Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Ooh, nice. I have to do that.
Yeah, because, and I don't want to get into the new Ghostbusters looks bad, because that's been done to death. And there was a whole thing last week where the internet again exploded and people were, saying, oh, you fucking hate women. And like, guys, just like stop being social justice warriors. Stop being internet keyboard commandos.
Right.
Like, if someone doesn't like it, that's fine. You shouldn't be a dickhead about it and be like, attacking people personally.
Exactly.
But if you don't like the movie and you don't think the movie's going to be good, then don't go see it, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right. That's
the way bad movies, and this movie does look bad in my opinion from the, just from the trailers, but I mean, obviously a lot of other people don't think that. Don't go see it. That's how these movies that some people think are bad keep getting made, like Transformers. I mean, it's a bad movie and they keep getting made because people keep going and seeing it.
Right.
So if you don't like it, don't go see it. It's simple as that, and I mean, let other people have an opinion that's different from yours. I mean, I know you think that it looks good. And you're excited to see it.
Yes, I'm excited to see it.
I don't think that you're like a lesser person or stupid because of that.
Thank you.
Yeah, like, well, and the problem is, like, there's a huge subset of people that are like, you're fucking dumb for thinking something other than me. It's like, who cares? Like, it's a fucking movie. Like,
exactly. Like, it's not.
It's and on top of that, the movie does feel a little cheap because it is fabricated nostalgia.
Sure, exactly.
It's a ploy. It's a very calculated ploy for fabricated nostalgia. So, that being said, obviously. But yeah, the original Ghostbusters still absolutely fantastic. The comedy's still there, the effects, we can talk about the effects to the cows come home. They haven't aged well, yada yada yada. You don't watch the Ghostbusters original movies for the effects anyways. You watch them for the characters and the character interactions. So
exactly,
you're watching it for Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, and my favorite Ghostbuster, Ernie Hudson, interacting with each other. Not because you want to see the Slimer effect. And I think that at least for the stuff I've seen in the trailer for the new movie, that's gotten a little lost on the new movie.
The new movie looks like one of those computer animated.
It's trying to be like a giant effects-driven film,
right.
Like, and that's not what the original one was by any stretch of the imagination.
No way.
So, but anyways, let's talk about a film that has nary a ray of sunshine in it. Stroszek from 1977. Again, it's another one of Werner Herzog's full-length feature films as opposed to his documentary. The IMDb synopsis for the film is, in Berlin, an alcoholic man recently released from prison joins his elderly friend and a prostitute in a determined dream to leave Germany and seek a better life in, of all places, Wisconsin.
Lass uns, Stroszek, Bruno.
Sabine war ein Frau, ein Zimmer gar fromm und tugendhaft.
Burkhard, schau mich halt mal an, schau mal, wie ich heul. Lass mich halt nicht so stehen, ich will nicht zu dem Abend, ich will wirklich bei dir.
Wer viel heult, muss weniger pissen.
Ja, komm her, komm. Ja, komm her.
Kannst du aber schön sprechen, Beo.
Ja, mit dem Schiff nach New York und nach Florida.
Sie diente immer treu und
Dies ist die Ballade von Stroszek, dem Straßensänger, der aus dem Knast kommt, sich mit der Dirne Eva und dem Sonderling Herrn Scheitz zusammentut und mit ihnen von Berlin-Kreuzberg nach Wisconsin, USA, auswandert.
Hallo.
Ja?
Ficky?
Ja.
Ja?
Ja.
Wie viel?
da kam aus Treuenwitzen ein junger Mann daher.
So. Bruno, was sagst du jetzt? Das habe ich alles verdient.
Ich fall aus dem Rahmen.
Das reicht fürs Erste. Jetzt fangen wir ganz neu an.
Wirklich. Und es wird auch Zeit, dass der Bruno von Berlin verschwindet. Denn das geht mir sowieso auf den Geist. Was ist das für ein Land, das dem Bruno seinen Beo beschlagnahmen tut?
All right, Yelchin's on, right there, $900 on it. You go right there, $10,000 on it. Well, five.
Hello, filthy movie lovers. My name is Gentry Austin.
And I'm Casey Scott.
and we're the hosts of the Sin Syndicate, film podcast for something weirdos, anti-criterion bros, and Joseph Sarno aficionados. Join us semi-weekly as we peer into the adults-only theaters and sticky-floored cinemas of the golden age of sexploitation, when the morals were loose, the laws were murky, and the intercourse was all simulated. Find us now on the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
$4,000 and empire.
Die Sprache ist mir zwar ein bisschen unbekannt. Yes. Aber da ist irgendwie eine Tücke dran.
Er wollte so gerne Sabine besitzen und war ein Schuhmacher. Ein Anbeter, ein Proletarier.
Ich habe es mir in Amerika anders vorgestellt. Dass ich durch Arbeit schnell reich wäre.
Jetzt hör halt schon auf, Bruno. Ich kann es jetzt wirklich nicht mehr hören.
Sein Geld, das hat er ganz versoffen beim Schnaps und auch beim Bier.
Was suchst du hier, Eva?
Bruno, spinnst du? Was machst du hier? Wie kommst du denn überhaupt hierher? Geh weg, mach, dass du wegkommst.
Ich soll weggehen.
Ja, zisch ab. Ich fahre mit den beiden nach Vancouver. Das ist nämlich sehr lustig. Zisch ab!
Da sagt einer zu Bruno: Dein Wagen ist kaputt, dein Mädchen abgehauen, dein Haus haben sie verkauft und du denkst dir nix.
Ich weiß, auch Sie stecken mit allen unter einer Decke.
Was wird daraus, wenn der Bruno mal tot geht?
Wenn der deutsche Film wieder Ansehen in der Welt genießt, ist das Regisseuren wie Werner Herzog zu verdanken. Folgen Sie dem New Yorker, Londoner, Pariser Filmpublikum und lernen Sie seine Filme und Filmgestalten kennen und lieben. Zum Beispiel Stroszek. Sehen Sie alles in der Reihenfolge und beachten Sie das Ende.
Denn der Bruno, der geht jetzt in Freiheit.
What do you think?
So I was surprised when I first saw that this movie was a comedy, and it definitely was a lighter tone. But it's like this weird juxtaposition that makes it even more depressing, I think, because it's just like one terrible thing happens to them after another. And it just kind of like dashes any kind of hope for your own future and dreams. That's the best way I can explain. I mean, just everything falls apart.
You know, I agree. This movie has a very different feel to it than every other Herzog film we've watched. On the face of it, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think as a overall narrative film, it still has a lot of the themes that Herzog talks about. The hopelessness of life, you know, and this film's pretty hopeless. And, you know, how everything just, you know, no matter where you are, it seems to be a dead end. And that, you know, that is made very clear by this film. And Herzog's feelings, especially towards the characters of Stroszek and Ava, the prostitute. I mean, you know, it's just, you know, it's just so damn dark.
Yeah.
And nihilistic and dour, and the end of the movie is such a damn bummer. The whole movie's a bummer, but towards the end of the movie, it just gets way worse.
Yeah, like you just know there's no point, and like you just lost hope, you know?
And that's the way I felt walking out of this movie earlier this morning, was like, man, like this is a 2-hour movie, and it's just an absolute depressing film. I mean, it's a great film. It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just, it has this feeling to it that, you know, I don't know, the inevitability of the world is closing in on these characters no matter where they are.
Yeah, even when it feels like a step forward.
Even after they leave Berlin, after they're tormented by, speaking of Ghostbusters, the gentleman who plays Vigo the Carpathian in Ghostbusters 2, Wilhelm von Homburg.
Oh, that's right.
He plays one of the pimps. After he, you know, humiliates Stroszek in his own house, they leave and go to Wisconsin, and it's no better. Frankly, it's worse.
I mean, the whole idea, like, even when they're sitting in the room in Germany and they're discussing like they say the word Wisconsin, and you just kind of know already. There's like this sinking feeling. Because when they get there, it's just like this frozen prairie.
Yeah, well, and you think, you always get this feeling, America,
right,
the land of opportunity, and then, with this, I mean, it doesn't paint a very appealing picture of the United States, and honestly, it paints a very realistic picture of the United States in the 70s and 80s.
Absolutely.
I mean, these people were under the impression that the United States was this, land of opportunity, and then this isn't some what this film is talking about isn't some sort of it's not a novel concept that people come here and their lives are forever changed, and Stroszek, unfortunately, he is kind of the tragic figure of the film, that he's kind of like a tragic clown. Like, clowns are tragic as it is, but I mean, he's like a tragic clown in this film.
Yeah, that's exactly how this whole movie feels.
Right? Like, it's just they move from like one, like, there's like small times in the film where it's not sadness and depression and the bleak outlook of the world is like bearing down on them. There's like one or two scenes that are the case where it's not that, but then the rest of the film is just, you feel the weight of the world weighing down on this character's shoulder to the point where he can't take it anymore.
Yeah, well, because even those moments of like lightness, like those moments are sort of like dancing in a burning room. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that sense of celebrating in spite of like just terrible things,
Yeah, well, and you're totally right. I mean, the character of Ava, Stroszek puts so much emphasis on his own happiness through her, and then she, she's with him, and then she leaves him, and it destroys him to the point of what happens at the end of the film.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that I think one of the more impressive things about this film, for me as a film watcher, is the fact that most of the people that are involved in this film are not actors.
Right. Yeah, you can tell.
Not trained actors.
He totally got some truck drivers that were just sitting around and like had them, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's totally real.
Bruno Schleinstein is an actor, but he's an actor because he was in Herzog films. He was an artist and a musician beforehand.
Wow.
Right. And same with Clemens Scheitz, who plays Stroszek's elderly next door neighbor. One of the only people aside from Wilhelm von Homburg, and you could make the case that he's not really that great of an actor, and he's not, because I honestly just felt like he was just, that's who he is, as like a giant raging asshole.
Right.
and having read this really interesting piece about kind of an interesting look at Wilhelm von Homburg's like life, he sounded like a real racist piece of shit. Right. But him and Ava Matis are two of the only, handful of actors in this film. The rest are just like normal people. The lead roles are played by non-actors, so the people you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
Namely Stroszek and Clemens Scheitz. I mean, Herzog is able to find these people that give great performances even when, they're just normal people.
Yeah.
Or they're artists or musicians or, and I think that is, again, just when you have someone like Herzog, he brings out the best in everyone he works with. And to some extent with Klaus Kinski, he brings out the worst.
Right.
But in bringing out Klaus Kinski's worst, he brings out his best at the same time.
Well, that seems to be part of his, his signature as an artist. I mean, as an auteur, is like that realness that he finds. He has the eye for what is so at the same time moving, but also so simple and real, and just like that's why he holds on, like just that moment when he holds on the baby, the premature baby, how disturbing and beautiful it is at the same time. It's so strange and it's so simple. You know what I mean? Just the simple.
Have you ever wanted to dive deeper into the horror movies you love? Beyond the Blood is a horror podcast for fans who want more than just surface level screams. We do deep dives into the movies that shaped us, digging into director commentaries, behind the scenes stories, deleted scenes, and the special features that most people skip. Each episode is a love letter to the genre. We break down how these films were made, the creative risks that paid off or didn't, and the lasting impact they've had on the genre as a whole. From 70s slashers to modern nightmares, we celebrate the craft, chaos, and characters that keep us coming back. If you're the kind of fan who rewatches movies with the commentary on, or you simply grew up in the video store horror aisle, the Beyond the Blood podcast was made for you. New episodes every single week. Subscribe, and let's dig deep. Welcome to the Beyond the Blood podcast.
But he does that a lot, and I think he does that through casting also.
Yeah, Herzog, like you said, he really does have kind of the eye for... He has an eye for, not the bizarre, because I think that's a little bit of a derogatory term.
Yeah.
He has an eye for things that are interesting in life and in the world.
Absolutely.
And you definitely get that in this film because the three main leads, Stroszek's neighbor, and Ava, they're all very interesting people just to look at.
Yeah.
Stroszek strikes me as kind of a German Tom Waits.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And it's just he's such a he emotes with his eyes.
Oh yeah.
And you look at him and you see who he is as an actor through his eyes. And similarly to another person that Herzog worked with on multiple occasions, Klaus Kinski, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You get the sense that there's actual pain behind his eyes as a person.
Oh yeah.
And if you read up about Bruno Schleistein, who plays Stroszek in the film, he was beaten as a child. He spent most of his youth in mental institutes. He was born to a prostitute and was an unwanted child. This guy growing up had problems. So his ability to convey that as an actor, and it's impressive.
Oh, absolutely. It's because it's such a I was gonna say, because after seeing him in Casper, I really love this guy, especially in this movie. I don't know, just funny. I just have a lot. I think he's great, and it's just funny. I was thinking while watching this movie that it's amazing that he can find these actors that completely with their whole body just kind of transform.
Is he better in this film or in Kaspar Hauser?
Oh, I don't know. I think that it was. I really liked him in this movie, but what he does in Casper is, I don't know. It's definitely I don't know. It's hard to compare
because we had every intention of doing Kaspar Hauser, and then time just kind of got away from us. So, is this movie a worthy companion piece to Kaspar Hauser?
I think it is, but you definitely should watch Kaspar Hauser first because the character Casper is so believable that it's almost hard to imagine him as anything else, if that makes any sense. And so when I see him in this movie, I can really respect how he does that with him. I don't know. That's kind of the experience I had because it's very worthy.
Okay. Yeah, because this film and The Enigma of Kaspar Hauser are the two films that Herzog worked with Bruno Schleistein on. So, I think all of the Klaus Kinski films are pretty good companion pieces or kind of worthy of watching in a group together.
Yes, yeah.
Just see kind of where Herzog kind of his most well-known feature films. But honestly, I would put Stroszek up there with Fitzcarraldo and Cobra Verde in kind of the best that we've seen this month.
I really
from Herzog.
Yeah, I agree. I really like him.
And it's just, again, the movie, it's kind of a condemnation of the American dream. Yeah. And, it's so, and we keep using this word every goddamn Kulturecast this month. It's such a Herzogian look at what it means to come to a land you've never been to looking for a better life, only to realize this land is not any better. It's just you're having the same problems, but in a different place.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's just this Herzogian condemnation of, being a dreamer and, someone who, wants to, someone who wants to be a success, and you just get the world bears down on them so much.
Yeah. It's like, don't try.
Yeah. Why even try? Yeah. Why even try? Because at the end of the day, life is going to bear down on you and you're going to have no point but to, kill yourself.
Yeah. And at least crush your dream. Your dreams are just irrelevant anymore.
That ending scene where he's kind of telling his story to the German speaking businessman.
Yes.
And then he goes and kills himself on the ski lift. It's so depressing.
Yeah.
the ending of this film, like, you know, he's just, Stroszek is, you know, he's alienated from everyone. Everyone he knows is either gone or in prison. He's essentially been left again due to his own devices, seemingly to his own devices. Right.
It's like chaos.
Yeah, you know, and he decides to get on a ski lift with a shotgun and a frozen turkey, and ride the ski lift around and then shoot himself off camera.
All while these animals are in their cages performing these ridiculous. It's like coin operated attractions at like a tourist. Yeah. Where animals are like basically prisoners and they do these cute.
Yeah, one animal's legit just like dancing. It's like a dancing. Yeah. It's like a dancing chicken. Which, looking into it, how they did that effect, that chicken, it's standing on like a hot plate.
I thought so. I figured it would be like shocking him or something.
Yeah. So there's like a chicken. It's like dancing to this really, you know, kind of. It's a little unsettling, I would say,
especially compared to what's happening while we listen to it.
Yeah, and then there's a chicken playing piano, and then a rabbit riding a fire truck.
It's just so weird.
It's such a strange.
It's really unsettling.
Yeah, it's a strange kind of juxtaposition versus what's going on in the film with, you know, Stroszek and him, you know, getting ready to kill himself. I'm assuming, and, you know, this is me reading into it a little too much, and that's fine because it's a Herzog film, so we're allowed to read into it. Are those animals in the cages supposed to be Stroszek throughout the film?
That's interesting.
And it's like, look, we're all trapped in these cages.
It definitely feels like it's making a big statement like that. I can see that.
Right, because there's, you know, earlier in the movie he's playing the piano, and then the chicken's playing the piano, and then the rabbit riding around the toy fire truck kind of circles like he was a scene or two before where his truck is lit on fire.
That's right. Oh my God.
Right. I think that's what they were going for.
That's interesting.
You know, I don't like to read into stuff too much like that, but I think I'm like pretty sure that's what it was going.
That makes sense. I mean, it's one of those things that he shows us for so long. There's something in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, it's, again, you know, that's kind of Herzog's thing, right?
Absolutely.
He wants you to see, you know, or feel more than just the world around you, and to look at the world, not just, you know, let it pass you by.
Yeah.
Kind of be more aware of your surroundings. And I think that is really, you know, again, I think that Herzog, this film is one of the better ones we've seen this month, but it is definitely, you know, the most, the bleakest, and the one that has kind of the most overbearing message.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know, just absolute, just
hopelessness.
Yeah, it's hopeless, but I mean, it does have some comedic aspects to it.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
It's not without the comedy, but it's not a funny movie.
Right, exactly.
It's very dark humor. It's black humor. It's very dark. We talked a little bit about the performances in the film. What did you think of some of the performances, other than Bruno Schleimstein as Stroszek?
Well, it's like the first time I feel like in the movies that we've seen, the acting is usually like over the top, but still really like real. This is the first time it feels the most like it feels so natural in sort of a modern way, if that makes any sense. But I kind of loved it. It was really interesting. I really liked Ava. She was like the first woman who was like sort of very.
She had a relatively large part.
Yeah.
Which is different from the other Herzog films that we've seen.
Exactly, yeah. And she was grounded too. She had sort of the weight of a lead character more than most of the other women I'd seen in any of his movies. So it was really, I really liked that. I appreciated that.
Yeah, you know, it was nice to see a female character much more fleshed out than we've seen in previous films of Herzog's. Yeah. I've kind of noticed this with Herzog's feature films versus his documentaries. Herzog, I think, at his heart, at his absolute core, is a documentarian. Yeah. And his feature films feel like documentaries.
Absolutely, yeah.
This film totally feels like a documentary.
Oh,
right?
I feel like that about most of, I think, all of his features, yeah.
Okay. So, you know, it almost doesn't feel like acting. I liked the acting in this film. I mean, obviously it's scripted. There's no question of that. But, for me, I think everyone knocks it out of the park. I really like Stroszek's elderly neighbor.
Me too.
Played like Clement Scheitz. He's just a weird older guy, and no one understands German in Wisconsin, in rural Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So he's kind of talking about like animal magnetism, and it has like absolutely no idea what's going on with this film. he has nothing. Like once they get to Wisconsin, he's just like talking about shit.
No one knows what the hell he's talking about. It's so funny.
And it's just he's such an interesting addition to this film as a character, and he works, but yeah, his character like makes no sense later in the film. It's just like animal magnetism, and like he's just like walking around talking to hunters who just killed a deer, and like, we put these probes next to the deer and you touch them, and is this crazy?
The needle's waving.
Yeah. Or when he's convinced that there's like a conspiracy at the end of the film.
Yeah, and then just gets totally thrown under the bus.
Yeah. The performances are really, they're standouts, and it's nice to see, I think up until this point, because we missed Kaspar Hauser, the last two films we watched were both feature films, were both Klaus Kinski films.
Yep, that's right.
So this is the first non-Klaus Kinski film that I've seen. Obviously, you got a chance to watch Kaspar Hauser.
Yes.
How does this kind of compare in your mind to Klaus Kinski as a leading man versus Bruno Scheinstein?
That's tough. They're very different, but they both have that rawness that we always talk about. But like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like acting. No, they never do. That's the thing about them. They just seem like extreme people. You know what I mean? That's sort of how I feel when I see them.
They feel pretty real for actors.
Exactly. Yeah, and I really just love. There's something maybe about Bruno that I relate to in a certain way, but I really love watching him. I really connect to him in a way that I didn't with Klaus. But it's not to say that they both have their.
Well, and I mean, to be fair, let's be honest here. Klaus Kinski's characters that he's played in the films that we've seen, they're a little bit more, not characters, but they're more characters.
Yeah, they're very big.
Stroszek is more of just like an everyday guy.
Yeah, and I think that, and I just love, you've got to see Kaspar. There's something about that role it's kind of like, it's like Forrest Gump. It's for Tom Hanks. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I want to watch it.
Yeah.
If you are saying that is the case, then I will definitely watch it.
I think it's pretty good. I really enjoyed it. And that made me really like Bruno, and seeing him in this movie and seeing what he does in this movie, I really appreciate him as an actor a lot.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I will have to watch it.
Yeah. Then. It's definitely worth it. It's a good movie too.
Yeah. In regards to Stroszek, skip it or watch it, and best performance.
Definitely watch it. This one is an easy one to watch too, out of all of his, and just them being so stylized. This one is it probably feels the most commercial in the sense that it's just easy to understand.
Just warning to anyone who does want to watch it, it is a German language English subtitled.
Yes. Film. But it's still, that's part of the character of it though. You gotta, you know what I mean?
I completely.
Yeah. Best performance. I really love Scheitz too, man. Oh man. That's tough. His nephew was crazy too. He was crazy real. I'm
pulling his own teeth out.
Yeah, that was insane. I died when that happened. I'm gonna say Scheitz because he was just so cute. Even though I'm not gonna say Bruno.
Yeah, I think it would be a little unfair to say Bruno. But obviously, like you said, it's a total watch. Film is fantastic. And it's refreshing to see someone that isn't Klaus Kinski in a film, in a Herzog, kind of Herzog well-acclaimed film, if that makes sense. I don't want to give it to Wilhelm von Homburg, but I mean, the character that he plays in this film, I don't feel like it's a character.
Yeah.
I just feel like, knowing what I know about him as an actor and like his life story, that just feels like that's who he is. So it just felt real, and you just feel so bad for Stroszek when he's like being fucked with by these assholes.
Yeah, it's
by these asshole pimps. So I'm gonna give it to Wilhelm von Homburg because it's a minor role in the film, but he is the inciting force that pushes
definitely
that pushes Stroszek to go to America. So he helps push the plot along as well. So, before I talk about this Thursday's Kulturecast, Sean, anything you want to plug?
Nothing super new. Cyrano, Love Letter to a Friendship is coming out very soon. I'm very excited. We're releasing videos. So follow us on Facebook at least and spread the word for us. And as usual, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm Seanifer, and on Facebook, I'm Sean Liang.
And you can follow me on Twitter at CultureStash. And if you like what you're listening to now, if you like what you're listening to now, head on over to cultureshocked.com/culturecast. Both of those are with a K. And listen to Sean and I sit and banter about other movies for, who knows how much time. A lot of time. This coming Thursday, we're going to be talking about Echoes from a Somber Empire, which is another Werner Herzog documentary. Big thanks, as always, to Wovoka for providing the intro-outro music for the Kulturecast. The track that you hear, split up as our intro-outro, is their song Lament. And if you like the Kulturecast, head on over to patreon.com/culture_shocked and kick $1 or $2 our way every month. It helps us keep the site and the lights on, and keeps the Kulturecast running. And make sure to check out this Thursday's Kulturecast.